Yeah, good afternoon, students. This is international trade. International trade is now widely spreading worldwide. At the same time, so many problems occurring, so many systems developing, imposition or withdrawal of so many restrictions here. And actually, protectionism is concerned or imposition of different restrictions or withdrawal of restrictions regarding import and export of goods and services from a certain country or the countries. And this is imposed by the government or also withdrawn by the government. When government may think, yes, for their own interest, for the interest of the country, need not to import certain types of goods or services which is very much manufactured in their own country. But as per the international trade policy, they have to import. In that point, they may impose some additional taxes or duties so that the exporting countries will be not benefited and they will not export their goods to country A. That is the thing. So this is protectionism actually. In this connection, Professor Brenner says the protection includes a wide variety of aids to a country, imports competing goods, and to its exports, extends well beyond the traditional import tariffs and quotas to a wide range bounties and the tax preferences and types of administrative protection. Professor Johnson says, yes, protection refers to those policies that create a divergence between the relative prices of commodities to domestic consumers and producers and their relative prices in the world market. This is protectionism, and it depends upon the tendency of a certain government as per their own economic policy which is adopted by them. Whether they are interested or in trying to import goods and services from foreign countries, then they will free all taxes, VAT, and all these things. No twice permission. But when the government thinks, yes, the sort of items we need not to import because already we are manufacturing, we have some giant plants and at the same time, rather, we are manufacturing these goods surplus and we want to export it to foreign countries. Anyway, merits and or arguments for protectionism. Protectionism, government created issue. This may be created by our own government or at the same time the exporting countries, the importing countries' government. That is the thing. So, expansion of the local market, yeah. This is expansion of the local market. Local market, the whole manufacturers may manufacture multi-varied items, goods and services for the local people. In that case, if the country doesn't permit to import the same kind of foreign goods to the country at a lower price, the total market system will be frustrated. Rather, what the government need to do, yes, I can manufacture this item with the right and best quality and right period of time. And so at the same time, our products cost will be minimized and customers will be very much inclined and interested to purchase their own product. So this way market can be expanded. Then keeping labor interest. Yes, we are manufacturing these goods and services in our own country. We need not to import this from the foreign countries. As we don't want to import these items from the foreign countries so that our factories will be carried on its manufacturing in full. And the factory owners of the country may give their workforce better salary package. Development of balance of payment. Yeah. Balance of payment. Yes, I am importing goods from foreign countries and I am also exporting goods to foreign countries. In that case, then their payment or transaction has not been completed. It may take sometimes 3, 4, 5 months of time. 3, 4, 5 months of time. In that case, government if controls its export-import policy, then they can also control the balance of payment system. So, the preservation of wealth. Yeah. By protectionism, a certain country can preserve its wealth. Because if the drastic import from the foreign countries, those so they need not to pay a huge amount of foreign exchange to the exporting countries, to the exporters of the exporting countries. So the companies can preserve their wealth. So the country, even not only company, as a whole world, companies can preserve their wealth. Then increase employment. Employment as our factory is going on with smooth and ongoing manufacturing its goods and services so that their functions are all time active enough. As a result, this factory, that country can export more products or goods and services to the foreign countries and earning a huge lot of foreign exchanges. So balance of export-import gap will be huge. So export will be bigger than the import. As import is smaller than the export, so the rest amount will be just saved. Increase employment. As the factories is going on functioning right way and smoothly and ongoing manner so that a huge volume of products can be manufactured. And so the company will need more and more workforce with a higher rate of salary. Then equalization of cost of productions. As trade restrictions are imposed, so huge volume, huge quantity of product they can manufacture. As a result, they can also earn a huge profit. So as they are earning huge profit, it will be easier from their side to expand their factory. As a result, more employment will be generated and employees will be employed. Then the equalization of cost of production. Yes, as the quantity is used in production, so fixed cost is fixed and variable cost is varies. Variable cost may vary and fixed cost may go fixed, but in the per unit point of view, fixed cost will be come down at a minimal stage. So the cost of manufacturing goods will be lesser. Conservation of the natural resources. As sometimes it's a positive and negative both. If the rich countries or advanced or developed countries may preserve their wealth because at low cost they can import their varieties goods from the developing countries. Say like the Bangladesh. Bangladesh is exporting a huge quantity garments items to the USA market, Canadian market, and the Western Europe market. So that those countries can save their natural resources and maintain better ecological balances, correcting distortions of the domestic labor market. with the protection policy, government can control labor payment system in a systematic manner, as their own mills and factories will be smoothly on functioning, and to mitigate their own demand of their own market.
Start.
Preservation of special industries. There are some countries they do like to preserve their some special industries. In that case, they may impose their restrictions. Whereas we had the tendency to create restrictions upon importing the jute goods from the foreign countries. Then our export was only based upon the jute, raw jute and jute good industry based. Then increase patriotism. Sometimes we say it doesn't mean so. Nowadays the world economy has been changed. With the changing world economy, our concept has been also changing and developing. In that point, that's not correct. That much later. Develop in self-sufficiency. These are the traditional concept, also development of self-sufficiency. Yes, we like to manufacture our consumable items in our own country, so that it's better to avoid importing the goods and services from the foreign countries. But that also not the past ever true. But now there is a concept of difference of cost. If we import goods and services from the foreign countries, and the total cost of that imported item is very less than the locally manufactured item, in that case, we better to import goods and services, as the America do this thing. Now, then diversification of industries. Simply, we need not to be concentrated upon some specific fixed industry is our manufacturing plants within the country. Rather, to expand it or to increase of manufacturing variety. Then another point is the obstruction in dumping. There is problem in some cases. Sometimes some rich countries, they do dumping. Like it says in the year 1974, 5, 6, 7, 8, up 1980 or up to 85, India did dumping system for jute and jute goods item about. And they provided the incentive packages more than 25% or deducted the sales price. As a result, our jute industries was completely collapsed and damaged. Then demands and arguments against the protectionism. As the arguments, they are in favor of the protectionism. At the same time, there are also demerits. Demerits, number one, that is the disrupt the customer's freedom. Yes, it restricts not only import, also it restricts the customer's concept, customer's taste, customer's views, customer's purchasing capacity. It ignores, so that customers are very much restricted, and they are sometimes bound to purchase a certain type of product, a certain branded product of their own country, which may not be up to right quality or up to the international standard. Then increase the unskilled areas, unskillful areas. Restriction as they are not permitting importing high quality goods from the foreign countries. As a result, local countries need not to face the competition, and thus they are becoming unskilled. Then the decrease of the total production and consumption. Yes, as we are not importing goods and services from the foreign countries at a lower rate of lower price rate, so and local products are sold out at a higher rate. So that what may happen? Yes, the local consumption may decline, and total local consumption may decline. Then the another thing is the imperfect use of the resources. Yes, as we are not importing goods and services from the foreign countries, so that we have to manufacture our products. And as a result, the imperfect use of the resources in some cases will remain unutilized. Increase inequalities, as the local manufacturers are becoming and they are enjoying multi-varied financial benefit both from the government and from the bank and financial institutions, which will create a huge gap between the poor and rich peoples. Develop monopolistic situation. Yes, as we are not importing goods and services from foreign countries, so what we are manufacturing in our country, that may create a monopolistic economic system, create conflict and friction. Restrictions, yes, restrictions, so that the local made items are becoming very getting more power, more strength. Though these items are not, foreign buyers are not interested to get purchased. But for them to satisfy the local people, the clients and local consumers, certain factories manufacturing these items. Import obstructions unreasonable. And then there is a hindrance in a specialization. Positively, is there is no competition, competition with the local and foreign goods. So, no stress. There will be no stress upon the manufacturers, workforce, and the operators of a local factory. As a result, they will remain unskilled or half-skilled, semi-skilled, like that. So, there will be a tremendous problem for attaining the specialization. Then last is the impediment in total development. This tendency is not for competition. This tendency is for the sick people, the sick country, sick entrepreneurs, sick industrialization. Because we are not interested to fight or to compete in the market or manufacturing our goods and services with the, say for the French branded product. So if we are not inclined or interested to manufacture our goods with like the French, USA, Germany, say for the Siemens company, Siemens branded company. Lastly, the another point is the impediment of the total development. This creates hindrances of the total development. So, restriction, imposition of restriction is to some extent is very fine, but not for the much longer period of time. Anyway, the students, I ended all video, and we are carrying on our export international trade, and you are the senior level students, so not only simply don't try to follow simply my lecture or rather you also search by Google and you can gather the knowledges of different sectors, different levels of, and you have to collect and gather your knowledges and information from the different sources. Okay, thank you very much, best of luck.